everyone. Okay, so when my grandfather died in 2014, it was a pretty big hit for our family. He was loved by everyone, especially me. I was his first grandson, so it was really hard. So, and especially paying for the final expenses for his funeral, since he didn't have a life insurance policy just to pay for his funeral costs. So according to simpledollar.com, 30% of Americans are without any life insurance coverage, and 70% of those people are underinsured. So meaning 96 million out of the 32 billion Americans are left without any type of coverage. Okay, so today we're gonna go over the need for a whole life policy with American Income, talk about my company a little bit, and just ultimately persuade you guys to consider purchasing a life insurance policy in the future or in the near future for yourselves or for any loved ones. Okay, so what I'm going to first talk about is my whole life policy, just go into a little depth about it, and then my company, and then also ultimately persuade you guys again. Okay, so a whole life policy leaves something for your family after your passing to just have a little bit of money to pay for funeral costs since they are so expensive. Okay, so what a whole life policy does anybody know the price of a funeral nowadays?
About 16 grand.
15? Anybody else? No? That's pretty accurate. Average cost around now is around $20,000, just depending on the type and flowers. It all depends per family. So it was around $14,000 according to the National Funeral Directors Association in 2011. So that's pretty expensive. Not a lot of us don't have that money to write a check that day of to take care of those expenses at the moment, since funeral homes want payments immediately. It's really hard for a family to just, make that money, put it right there on the table for them, for the flowers and the graves and things like that. So it's a little stressful. Okay, so at 4% a year due to inflation, a funeral will rise above $14,000 to 20 to 30 years above $30,000. Okay, so due to inflation at 4% a year, it will raise around 30,000. So that's why 30,000 is recommended for a whole life policy. Okay, so with this, at 4% a year, Survey Security Benefit online in 2011 said 4% a year, it will raise well above that $30,000, just because inflation and other economic problems since we are in the U.S. Okay, so with our company, my AIL, American Income Life, we have a freedom of choice certificate that can alleviate those stresses, so you can have payments immediately to pay within 24 hours. What this certificate does is helps families give these funeral homes payments immediately within 24 hours, so that they can just not worry about having to come up with that money at the spot. Okay, so these freedom of choice certificates are exclusive with our company. Not a lot of insurance companies out there have these benefits in place, just because I am with a union life insurance company, so we handle benefits for all the unions. Okay, so we went over life insurance, whole life coverage, and let's just go into American Income and my company a little bit. Okay, so American Income is a member. So I'm with the Dimitrova agency right here in West Covina, not too far. Drive like 5 minutes to work. It's funny, it's awesome. So like I said, we are a union life insurance company, so we handle benefits for union members and provide them with whole life coverage. That is our CEO, Roger Hub, right there, and that's we are part of a Torchmark Corporation, which is a financial holdings company listed on the New York Stock Exchange. According to torchmarkcorporation.com, we have been rated an A+ superior rating from AM Best Company in 2013 for paying claims so quickly, since we have that, since we have been paying claims so quickly, we have this the best ratings company from one of the most entrusted ratings companies out there, AM Best. So we have that A+ rating. So we want, so that's why we have these great policies in place, so we can pay claims very quickly. Okay, so and not just so we have superior products. I'm almost certain none of you have heard of my company before. This is because we don't advertise, because we have superior products. We don't. It's like advertising a Ferrari. Do you see Ferrari commercials out there? It's like that. Just because we have these benefits, and they're kind of exclusive to unions, just so we have these superior products out there that not a lot of family members get to be presented with. So that's why we have these policies out there, so we can just, and we're also not exclusive. So we can, well, we are exclusive, but we won't turn away anybody just because, you know, they're not union members, just because, you know, we want all of our loved ones to not worry about paying for these final expenses. Okay, so that's a little bit about our company. We talked about the Freedom of Choice Certificate and whole life coverage. Excuse me. So next we're gonna just conclude it with we're gonna talk about AIL and whole life policies and coverages next, and why to alleviate the stress with these whole life policies. So we have a whole life policy will alleviate any stress due to paying for the final expenses just because they are so expensive. So I know a lot of people don't have these in place. So ultimately, I would like you guys to just, you know, consider it and want eventually maybe purchase a policy for me, just because it is fairly cheap since we are so young. I know it's a lot more expensive when we age, just because of our age, and we're closer to kicking the bucket. You know, it's that time. So what a lot of people have put in place in their mind that, oh, I'll get it later. Oh, I'll do it later. But you know, it's kind of, it's not a great idea to do it like that, just because, you know, we want to secure our assets for the future and for our families, just because we don't want our families to do that. Okay. So I know I would want my family to know that I was thinking about them when that time comes when they have to put me to rest. So thank you. We just have some more, you know, we do a good life insurance. It's pretty expensive. We'll encourage you to pay more for your latte every day. And also we have, so here we go. Here we go, last one. I like this one. Okay, guys. Everyone, thank you for sitting patiently.